In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to copy Matthew Williamson's futuristic floral prints. The first bit requires a bit of preparation. I took some screen grabs of the original, which I got from Vogue's website. And what I quite like about that is that you can get, it magnifies the image if you drag the cursor over it. And you can take screen grabs of that, which is quite good for homing in on minor details. And you can just hit print screen and use the image for your own reference. So I've done that, imported some images into Photoshop, and using the pen tool I traced paths around 4 of the floral shapes, copied the paths and pasted them onto a new blank page. I then made sure I had my rulers showing at the sides, just to make sure that my motifs were going to fit inside my printing screen, because that was quite small. I shrank each outline to a size, I think, of about 19 by 15 centimetres. Grabbed each one using the marquee tool, for those of you who aren't that familiar with Photoshop, and that's the rectangular one with a dotted line. Then I used the transform tool, which is just in the edit drop-down menu, pretty easy to find, to get the sizing right. I then dragged each one onto another A4 size document just for printing, because I've only got an A4 size printer, and printed them out as templates for tracing my screen. First of all, you've got to make your screen print stencils. I used this kids silk screen printing set by Art Train, I believe is the title. Yes, I know it's meant for children, but it's also meant and quite handy for a low budget. According to my research, a lot of the more, shall we say, adult, serious professional screen printing kits came in at £50 plus. Which kind of goes against the grain of the money-saving strategy we're trying to use here. So there is method in my strange madness. Anyway, first of all, you need to prepare the stencil. Here's one I traced out using the computer earlier, and using the what looks like organza silk screens provided. I'm just going to trace it out using this gel pen here. So this next bit, I've jumped a little bit ahead of myself, so if you'll excuse me, I'll fill you in, no pun intended, on how to fill a screen. Once it's traced out, you put it wrong side, you attach it wrong side up to your frame, and so that it's held under tension and so that it's not touching the ground, so the combination of which prevents this screen filler from seeping through. And then you simply take your paintbrush and you trace around your shape and around the background, just ensuring that everything is covered, so none of your paint can go through the screen except for the shape where you want it. So now I've got my top that I want to customize. This was a charity find, which is not unlike me. Actually, it's a size 20-something moo-moo resembling dress converted into a UK size 6/8 top, or the closest I could try and get to it. And we're going to make sure that it is protected. So I'm going to take a carrier bag, lay it flat inside, probably need to use more than one, but that's fine. Thankfully, carrier bags are not a commodity as such. And we're just, like I say, going to pin them like so. Hold the bags in place, because we really don't want any nasty leaks, to say the least. Couple pins, set them to the edges, and doing the same with the upside. You can mix your colours up in this little well here, and use a palette knife just to get a couple of blobs of paint down there, like so. More, maybe, I don't know. Some orange. Bit of yellow. Maybe blend that one, like so. Purple on the end. Maybe pink actually. Second ball. And away you go. And you can just sort of blend it a bit with your brush, have a bit of play. Quite nice effect, nice shade of turquoise there. I also find, in the interest of time saving, which I think is going to prove invaluable with this exercise because it is quite stop-start, use a hairdryer, just blast it for a few minutes to help your paint dry that bit more quickly. Last stage in the painting process is for the building type shapes. For that you need a metal ruler and a palette knife and some white paint. Fabric paint, obviously. Take your palette knife, slather a reasonably thick line of paint along the edge. Kind of coating it. And I'm going to make a building shape here. And spread it along. And another here. Wipe away the excess while you still can. Then I'm going to take my palette knife, spread that along the edge, again just coating it. And then I'm going to do my windows, like so. Just carry on until you've got your straight lines covering that. Also, just for more control, you can take your palette knife, coat the edge in paint, and make lines with that, like so. Pretty cool if you take your palette knife and you put sort of 3 streaks of white paint on the edge of a ruler, like so, and then you just kind of let it fade away as you go along, so it sort of graduates. Hoping this will show up on camera. So as you can see, it's kind of fading as we go along. So we get a bit of a sense of perspective with this, and that's the look you're aiming for. Once you've finished painting your top, you should hopefully have something that rather looks like this. Your next move is to take your carrier bags out and just iron the design in place. And then take your bags out.
And when you find all of your respective bits and bobs in place, you should hopefully have something rather closely resembling this. This has been my tutorial for the Matthew Williamson Spring Summer 2012 Floral Printed Blouse. Thank you for watching.